I want to just get into a few things. And one thing I want to talk about is what are the things that drive the need to recharge? Like, why do we need to do it? What are some things that can cause us to really have to recharge and reset our batteries, right? The first thing that I'll say is just socialization, socializing, right? So when we think about in particular, if you're, listen to the show and you're more of an introvert like me, people can take a lot out of us. They can. Let's be real. I mean, social interaction, when it's the right social interaction, when it's with people that we enjoy conversing with and sharing thoughts and sharing ideas and everything like that, that can be invigorating. Like, I love it. I mean, if we're talking about, anything from college basketball to podcasting to leadership to books, which I love. I'm a huge book nerd, love to read. Like, I can think of a bunch of topics. I can go all day about topics that I love talking about, but it has to be a certain kind of conversation with the right kind of person, and we're vibing off each other and everything like that. I can do that all day. Now, there are other kind of conversations where when I'm having those conversations and if I have them for too long, I get drained. I do, and it's not even that I don't necessarily like that person or I have some kind of issue or anything like that, but just the socialization of it. If it's small talk, if it's something that doesn't interest me, if it's something where the conversation is kind of dragging out, it can start to wear my battery down socially. I'm just going to be honest. And so you may be the same way. You may have those kind of conversations. And when you're in those moments, you eventually feel a need to recharge and break away. So socialization can be something that causes us to need to recharge. Another thing is just work. I touched on it a little bit earlier, but so much of society is driven by financial success. So much of it is driven by status and working to get to some level, to climb some ladder, or to get to whatever that goal might be, that I feel like so many people focus on. And it ends up a lot of times breaking us down, because it's like we're trying to chase this thing, and all the work that goes into chasing that thing, we're working, but when are we resting? When are we recharging? It's just as important to put in that work as it is to rest and not work, right? But a lot of times we don't do that. So that can cause us to really have to recharge when we're just working too much. And I am absolutely talking about myself here, and I'll get into that here a little bit later. Another thing is stress and worry. When we're stressed and when we're worrying about things, it causes a need to recharge. I mean, I can think of so many different times. For me, I'll tell you all about my main one right now. My main thing right now is a lot of times in my life, I don't feel like I'm getting enough done. I just don't. I feel like I'll have this to-do list, and for every 2 things that I get done in a day, there are like 5 new things that pop up. And it's this never ending like hamster wheel of trying to get things done between business and work, my personal life, family things, like all of these different things that I'm constantly trying to complete. I complete some of them, but then a lot I don't. And it begins to feel like this never ending thing. Now, I'm trying to put a lot of things in place to help me with that. I don't know if you might be the same way, where you just begin to get stressed about some particular thing, or some particular thing worries you. And because you feel that stress or you feel that worry, you really need to recharge. You need some time to break away from that thing, or to change your mentality, or just have a different approach to it. But that can be hard, right? It can be hard to do that. So stress and worry is another thing that can cause us to really need to recharge.